Okay, hello and welcome to this Hatha Yoga practice. We're going to begin our practice lying down on our backs. So if you're not already there, just start to make your way onto your back. And ensure that you're in a very comfortable position here. So ensure that you can feel the back of the head grounded down to the floor, or if you have like a cushion or a pillow nearby that you want to pad it out with, then you're very welcome to do so. And just take a moment or two. Just have a second to allow your eyes to gently close and start to allow your breath to flow very naturally and very normally. So just starting to tune in to what kind of breath you are using this morning. So are you immediately breathing in and out through your nose? Or have you naturally moved towards breathing in and out through the lips? And start to notice the depth at which the breath naturally travels to in the body. So you might be observing a little rise and fall in the heart space, or maybe you're noticing a slight rise and fall in the belly. And perhaps take a moment or two here just to check in, just to notice, are there any spaces in your body today that are carrying a little bit of tightness or any tension? And as you observe those spaces, try to avoid going back to the source of why you feel that way. Just acknowledge the sensation for what it is. Perhaps also beginning to check in on the pace of thoughts moving through your mind. And also noticing the tone of those thoughts as well, equally as important. Check in with your energy levels. And then begin to draw your attention back to your breath. So unless you have any blockages through your nose this morning, close the lips and begin to breathe in and out through your nose. So starting to move into more of a yogic breath. So exploring how deep you can send the breath into the body. So as you inhale, feeling that sense of expanding your abdomen and your rib cage upwards and outwards. And as you exhale, just gently drawing belly button back to spine, emptying the lungs as fully as you can. And keeping that going, nice, long, deep breaths all the way in. And long, extended exhalations. Try to keep the periphery of your body soft as you breathe here. So try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Try to ensure that the jaw is soft and maybe even the face is relaxed as well. And if perhaps you have an Ujjayi breath practice, starting to come into this now. And for those of you who are slightly newer today, Ujjayi breath is where we start to breathe in a way that we can hear the breath moving. So it's almost like we're trying to fog up a mirror with the breath, that kind of as we breathe, except with the lips closed. So you can give that a little go, maybe taking a couple of breaths Breathing in and out through the mouth, making that restriction in the back of the throat. And then closing the lips and seeing if you can keep that restriction and start to breathe deeply. So you'll begin to notice the breath sounding a little bit like wind moving through the trees, or maybe a bit like a Darth Vader breath. And take a moment just to anchor yourself into that breath. So as we move through our practice today, we're going to try and be as mindful as we can. But if it's just one of those days where it's very difficult to tame your thought processes and you're starting to move off onto mental tangents here and there, then try to use the sound of your breath or just the feeling of your breath moving in your body to bring you back into the present moment. And sometimes it's really nice, really helpful to use an intention during our yoga practice, something we can focus our energies towards, something that we'd like to have to almost motivate us. So perhaps taking a moment here just to bring an intention into mind. Or maybe even just thinking of one thing that you're thankful for. And it doesn't have to be something big and profound, it can be something very, very simple. Like, I'm thankful for this beautiful morning, or I'm thankful for my friends and family. And we'll keep that intention or that gratitude in the back of our mind as we move through our practice today. So we're going to come to a very simple pranayama, a very simple breathing exercise. So what I'd like you to do is just take the hands to rest very gently onto your tummy. 3-part breath. So as you inhale, try to expand the breath down into the belly, and you'll feel the belly lift up against your hands. As you exhale, feel the belly softening down into the center line of the body. Good. Inhaling deeply down into the abdomen. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed as you take that expansive breath in. And exhaling, fully relaxing bottom from top jaw. Really nice. One more deep breath in. And long breath out. Well done. Now moving your hands up onto the sides of your rib cage. So you might even want to cross the hands over, almost like you're giving yourself a little hug here, or you can just take the hands onto the side waist. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, and this time as you breathe in, try to expand the side ribs into the palms of your hands. And then as you breathe out, again allowing everything to sink back into the center of the body. Inhale, relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. And exhale, softening all the way in. One more big inhale. Slow and controlled exhalation. Well done. Now from here, bringing the fingertips up to rest onto your collarbones. This time as you inhale, breathe so deeply that you feel your belly and your ribcage expand, and you start to feel the breath moving up toward the collarbones. So inhaling deeply. Allow the breath to flood in through the torso, lifting up toward the crown of your head. And then deep breath out. Exhale from the belly first. Then feeling the ribcage retract, and then at the top feeling the collarbones soften down. Good. Deep breath in. filling the body all the way up with breath. And then slow, controlled exhale. Allow everything to sink down to center line. Good, last one. Big, expansive breath in. Fill the belly. Fill the rib cage. Lift the breath up toward the collarbones. And exhale completely and fully. Once you get to the end of that exhalation, take the arms down by the side body once more. Start to reconnect with your yogic breath or your ujjayi breath. And allow the mind to focus simply on that breath. Well done. So from here, let's just take a moment to draw the knees in toward the chest. So we'll interlace the hands over top of the shins and just start to take a very gentle rock from left to right. So that sense of massaging the back of your body into the floor. Make sure the back of your head and shoulders are grounded to the mat. And then start to find your way to stillness. This time interlace the hands just over your right shin and stretch your left leg out along the floor. Take a really big breath, balloon it down into the base of the belly. And then as you exhale, flex through your left toes and reach through the left heel. Well done. So nice expansive breaths down into abdominals. And as you exhale, now think about very, very gently drawing the right knee in the direction of the right armpit. Excellent. Big inhales, reaching through left heel, and then exhale, gently drawing the right knee toward the right armpit. Good. Well done. Now take the sole of your right foot with the palm of the left hand. And we're going to come into like a reclined pigeon here. So what you need to do is just bring the heel of your right foot to line up with the hip of, the left hip. So you're starting to bring your shin a little bit more parallel toward the ceiling almost. And if you've got quite open hips, you might even be able to start to draw the leg towards you slightly, okay? But if your hips are tight, then you can perhaps stay more out here. So nice deep breaths in. And again, exhale, ground the back of your head and shoulders to the floor. And maybe you're just gently drawing the left heel slightly closer. I beg your pardon, the right heel, slightly closer toward the left hip. So deep breaths in, softening the jaw, softening the belly. And then deep breaths out as you perhaps draw your shin slightly closer towards you. Good, one more big breath here. And then returning to just drawing the right knee toward the chest. And we'll move into a little twist from here. So take the left hand onto the right knee, stretch the right arm alongside your shoulder, and then start to draw that right knee across the body as you move into a twist. Try to keep the back of your right shoulder grounded to the mat. So deep, expansive breath across the center of your rib cage. Exhale, soften into your belly and allow gravity to draw the right knee across. Try to avoid dragging it down to the floor with the left hand. Good, another deep breath in. Big breath out. And then inhale, come all the way back up to center. Well done. Let's take that to the second side. So start to draw the left knee into the chest and stretch your right leg away. Hands will interlace over the top of the left shin, flexing through the right toes. Deep breath down into belly. Now as you exhale, press through the right heel, so you want to tap it toward the wall in front of you. Another big breath in, and then on your exhale, gently, gently starting to draw the left knee slightly closer toward the left armpit. Good, so jaw remains soft, deep breaths in, and exhale, almost like you're trying to draw your legs in opposite directions here. Perhaps Perhaps as you inhale, you're feeling the bottom back ribs press down into the mat. And as you breathe out, you're softening through the jaw, you're relaxing into the left hip. Well done. Let's come into our reclined pigeon now. So right hand to the sole of your left foot, and you're going to start to draw the left heel, I beg your pardon, in line with the right hip. Good. So nice deep breaths in. As you exhale, option to draw that left heel slightly closer to right hip, or maybe even drawing your shins slightly closer toward the chest. So this may feel quite strong for those of you who have very tight hips here. So be very, very gentle with the body. Again, coming back to that sense of, you know, it's not no pain, no gain. It's about listening in. So maybe even closing off the eyes. Deep breaths in and then long, slow and controlled exhales. Maybe even gliding bottom set of teeth from left to right. Well done. Drawing the left knee back in toward the chest. Right hand to left knee, guide it across the body as you stretch your left arm alongside your shoulder. So inhale, press the back of your left shoulder into the floor. Exhale, just allowing gravity to draw that top knee over toward the opposite side. So long breaths in, and then on your exhale, softening into the belly. Opening up through the low back. Well done. Breathing in, coming all the way back to the centre. And we'll roll ourselves over to the left side. And then very gently start to make our way up onto our seat. So if you have a cushion or something nearby that you want to sit on, you're very welcome to, particularly if as you sit with your bottom on the floor, you tend to round into the low back. And we're going to have the left heel in towards the pubic bone here. So if you do have more cushions or blocks and this left knee is up here, you can pile them underneath for a bit of support. Otherwise, we're going to take the sole of the right foot flat to the floor, and we're going to take hold of the outer edges of the foot with your hands. So we're going to lift the heel up and away, and I want you to really keep your chest and thigh connected here, all right? So see how the hamstring is. If you have quite a lot of tightness in the hamstring, you might press the foot into the hand and just move a centimetre or so. But if you know that your hamstring is slightly more open, you can press the foot into the hand and start to bring your leg towards straight. But remember here, you want to maintain that connection between your chest and your thigh. So as you breathe in, there's a sense of pressing the right heel forwards. And as you exhale, relax the shoulders and soften into your jaw. Well done. Nice deep breaths in. Deep exhales, maybe even softening into the elbows and drawing the right big toe slightly closer towards you. Long breaths in and slow breaths out. Well done. Now from here we're going to move into double pigeon. This is quite a strong hip opener, so again, listening to your body. So bringing the left shin in front of you, and we're going to take the right shin over top of the left. So as you look down, you want to stack knee over ankle and then knee under ankle. So one is stacking on top of the other. Now this is quite strong for the hips, and you might find that the right knee is sticking up in the air. And if that's the case, you have a block or a cushion, you could stick it between that knee and ankle. If this is too much for your hips, then sit cross-legged with the right shin in front of the left. Okay. So wherever you're at, plant the fingertips down to the mat behind you, and then inhale, lift up through the center of your chest. Good. As you exhale, flex through your toes, keep your sit bones grounded into the floor, and very, very gently just start to hinge yourself forwards. And I'm sure that you won't have to move very far before you start to feel quite a strong opening through the outer hips. So tuck your chin to chest, close the eyes, and start to just reconnect with that deep yogic breath or deep ujjayi breath. Maybe again gliding bottom set of teeth from left to right. Well done, and then inhale, coming all the way up to the top. Excellent work, everyone. Stretch the legs out in front, give them a very well-deserved little shake, maybe even a little pat down. And we'll take that to the second side. So this time, right heel comes into a cubic bow. Remember, you can pad out underneath the right knee if needed. And then we're going to take hold of the outer edges of the left foot and lift the heel away from the floor. So thigh and chest sandwiched together almost. Inhale, flex through the left toes. And then exhale, begin to reach through the left heel. Good. Nice big breath into the left hamstring. Breathing out, soften the shoulders away from the ears and reach the left heel a little bit further forwards. So remember here, you're trying to keep your chest, your belly connected to that left leg. Inhaling into the backs of the shoulders and then exhale, soften the jaw and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Well done. Let's move into our double pigeon. So you might want to slide that right foot across slightly, and then we're going to stack the left shin on top of the right shin. So as you look down, left knee stacked over the right ankle, left ankle stacked over the right knee. And if this left knee is up high, you can pad it out. Or if this doesn't feel good for the hips at all, you're crossing left shin in front of the right. Either way, feet are active and flexing. Take the fingertips down to the mat behind you. Take a deep breath into the center of your heart space to send the sternum forwards, and then exhale. Ground through the sit bones and allow yourself to hinge forwards. Now tuck the chin to chest, close the eyes and start to balloon the breath down into the outer left hip. So we're starting to work with our edge. And what this means in yoga is the space that we move into within a posture where we're feeling a challenge, and that could be a stretch, that could be more of a strength aspect, but we're still able to remain connected with our deep breath. So if you get to the point here where you're tensing up through the body, where you're unable to breathe, then just take yourself back slightly. There's no competition here. Well done. Another big breath in. And then exhale, rising all the way up to the top with control. Stretching the legs out in front and giving them a little well-deserved shake, maybe even a pat down if that feels good. Excellent job. So let's come on to our hands and knees now. So take a moment, just spiral the legs around and bring the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. So we're going to begin to set up toward downward facing dog. So what I'd like you to do is turn the inner elbows to face each other. So it's just a subtle rotation through the arms. And soften into the elbows slightly so that you're not locking out through the elbows. With the elbows soft, press the palms of the hands into the mat and try to send the space between your shoulder blades toward the ceiling. So you're feeling like you're rounding slightly through the upper back. Draw belly button to spine and curl under the toes. From here, curling the toes under, stretching the bottom all the way up and back, and sending the chest through the upper arms, so then moving toward the thighs. And you might want to take a moment here just to pedal out the feet on the spot. So if you're doing this, try to synchronize your movement with your breath. So inhale, one heel touches down to the floor, exhale, you swap over. Check in on your elbows. Have you locked out through the arms? Keep that a little bend and keep that sense of squeezing the inner elbows into the center line of the mat. Now really let the head go and relax the neck. You might even want to just
Synchronize your breath and your movement again by allowing your head to sway from the left to right in time with the breath and in time with your feet. Good. Starting to find your way to stillness. Take a nice big breath in, rise up onto the balls of the feet, draw in the belly, and we're going to ripple forwards into a high plank. So shoulders sat over the top of the wrists, and you might want to walk the toes back slightly. So here we want the bottom to be the same height as the back of the shoulders. Again, make sure that you haven't locked out the arms. Keep a very soft bend in the elbows, squeezing the inner elbows into the center line of the mat. Now, keeping this length as you exhale, come back into downward facing dog. So bottom is high, resisting the urge to walk your toes closer towards your hands. Deep breath in, big breath out. Well done. Once more, inhale, ripple forwards, finding your high plank. Press through the palms, keep that little bit of softness in the elbows. This time, squeezing the thighs together. Good. Exhale, press the mat away. Downward facing dog, reaching through the heels, let the head hang. Big cleansing breath in. Exhale, reach the heels down to the mat, find that opening through the backs of your legs. Excellent job. Inhale, soften into your knees, look to the hands, walking the feet toward the hands to find ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft, so that you can get your belly and thighs to touch. And you can either just let the hands dangle down toward the floor. If you're able to, maybe you're taking hold of opposite elbows and just taking a very gentle sway from left to right. Good. Start to find your way to stillness. Release the grip on the elbows if you have it. Big breath in. Exhale, starting to take a spinal roll up to standing, allowing your head to be the very last thing that arrives at the top. And as you get there, rolling the shoulders back and together, stepping the feet together, and turning your palms to face forwards to find Tadasana. So have a moment here. Just feel what's going on through the body. So there's a sense of pressing the heels into the mat. And as you do that, inner thighs squeezing together, pubic bone drawing in, belly button drawing towards spine. As you move your awareness up the body, shoulder blades gently soften away from the ears. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades draw back and together, and the chest is open. Almost a sense that you're being magnetically drawn from the crown of your head toward the ceiling. So you're lengthening up through the spine, through the back of your body. Take a big inhale through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Let's begin to synchronize movement and breath. Inhale, reach the arms above the head and take your gaze, your drishti, toward your thumbs. Exhale, soften into your knees and forward fold over your thighs, reaching fingertips toward the floor. Inhale, open the chest to find flat back. And you might like to bring the hands onto the shins here if the floor's far away. Exhale, forward fold. Reach the fingertips toward the floor and turn your gaze toward your belly button. Big breath in, send the arms wide, reach up through your fingertips and look to the thumbs. Exhale, arms down by side body, finding your way to Tadasana. Good. Inhale, reaching up, looking toward the thumbs. Exhale, soften your knees, belly button to spine as you fold. Inhale, flat back position, lifting the heart space, lengthening through the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold, drishti gazing to belly button. Big breath in, reach the arms wide, look up. Big breath out, arms down by side body. Excellent. Inhale, reach up, gazing to thumbs. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Inhale, lift the chest to find your flat back, lengthening the spine. Exhale, folding over the legs, keep the knees softly bent. Inhale, reach the arms to sky, gazing up. Exhale, arms down by the side body. Good, starting to move into our standing postures. Inhale, stretch the arms to ceiling. Exhale, soften the knees as you fold forwards. Inhale, lift the chest to find flat back. And this time, bend the knees to get your palms flat to the floor and step just your left foot toward the back of your mat to find your way into a runner's lunge. So take a moment just to check in on the legs here. Right knee stacks over the top of the ankle. Inhale deeply. Exhale, stretch through the left heel, reaching it toward the wall behind you. And then have a gentle sense of squeezing the shoulder blades together to send the chest forwards. Chin can soften into the chest to make the back of your neck nice and long. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Good. Couple more here. Inhale. Exhale. One more big inhale. Deep breath out. Well done. Let's come into a little pyramid variation. So what I'd like you to do is start to send the left heel toward the floor and see if you can walk the fingertips back slightly and lift the right toes away from the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl the nose toward the right knee and relax the neck. Good. So the more that you can lift the right toes away from the floor and flex them back towards you, the deeper you should feel this stretch through the back of your right leg. Maybe there's a sense of very gently drawing the outer left hip forwards, and as you do that, you'll feel the intensity of the stretch through the back of your right leg build. One more big breath in. Deep exhale, begin to ground the front foot down to the floor once more, finding that runner's lunge position. So reaching through the left heel, and then start to stretch the arms alongside the body, coming into arrow lunge. Now, if possible, keep your chest sandwiched to the front thigh. Deep breath in. Exhale to warrior three. Step the back toes in a little way, and then gently start to lift your left heel away from the floor. And it doesn't matter if that left heel lifts just an inch, or if you start to lift it more in line with the outer left hip. Good, another deep breath in. As you exhale, draw the left knee to chest, standing up nice and tall on the right leg. Maybe you're interlacing the hands over the left shin. I'll just turn myself around so you can see. So from here, we're going to take it into tree pose now. So if you take the sole of your left foot either to the inner edge of your calf, or you could bring it up to the inner edge of the thigh. If at all possible here, avoid putting the foot on the knee joint and pushing it to the side. So you want the foot to be either below or above the knee. Take the hands to prayer position at your heart center. Press strongly through the right heel and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Deep breaths. Well done. You have the option here, as you inhale, to reach the arms above the head, stretching your fingertips toward the sky. Deep breaths in. Long breaths out. Well done. As you exhale, bring the hands back to prayer position at heart center. And from here, we'll start to step that left foot back and behind us once more. Coming into an easy twisting lunge. So left hand will come down to the floor, right arm will reach up toward the ceiling, broadening through the chest. So again here, try to stretch through that back heel to make the back leg nice and strong. And if you're coming into a little side plank variation, come onto the knife edge of the back foot. You can either bring the right foot in line with belly button, you might be able to stack it on top of the left foot. Keep lifting the bottom hip as high away from the floor as you can, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, lower the top hand down to the floor, find your way back into downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth, let it go. Well done. Inhale, soften into knees, look forwards. Step feet to hands, finding a little forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest to find flat back. Exhale, forward fold over your legs once more. Good. Touch the hands down to the floor, so bend the knees if needed. Step your right foot back this time, runner's lunge. So you're on the ball of the back foot. Left knee stacks directly over top of left ankle. Inhale, stretch through the right heel. Exhale, gently draw the shoulder blades back and together to send your chest forwards. Good. Deep inhales down into belly. Exhale, soften chin to the chest so the back of the neck is long. Good. Couple more nice, big breaths in. Long breaths out. Okay, pyramid variation. Begin to ground the right heel down to the floor and lift the left toes away from the mat if you comfortably can. So you might be walking the fingertips slightly closer towards you, actively flexing through the left foot. Inhale nice and deeply, and then as you exhale, the outer right hip wraps forwards. Inhaling into center of heart space. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, make the back of your neck even longer. Inhale, pressing strongly through the back heel. Exhale, flexing through the left toes slightly further. One more. Good. Walk the hands forwards again, either side of front foot. Come back into that runner's lunge stance, reaching through the back heel. Lift the chest slightly, but keep your belly and front thigh connected. Deep breath in. Exhale, arms float alongside the body, finding your way into that arrow lunge. So nice and strong through the legs here. That sense of pressing the mat away with the left heel. Moving into warrior three, so step the back foot in. And then very gently, very slowly starting to lift the right toes away from the floor, keeping your gaze on one still spot in front of you. Stretching through the fingertips, reaching through the back heel, deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Inhale, draw the right knee to chest, coming up to standing on the left leg. Take a moment, get your balance, and we're going to move into tree pose on the second side. So bringing the sole of your right foot either above or below the knee. Try to match it to what you did on the first side. Hands to prayer position at your heart center. Big breath in, press the left heel down into the floor. Big breath out, lengthen through the crown of your head. Well done. Next inhale, option to stretch the arms up to the sky, reaching through the fingertips. Try to soften the shoulders away from the ears. Well done. Hands to prayer position at your heart center, drawing that right knee toward the chest and then stepping the right foot behind you. So, easy twisting lunge, right hand to floor, left arm to sky. Open up through the center of the chest. Option to stay here, otherwise coming toward a side plank variation, coming onto the knife edge of the back foot. You could walk the left heel in line with belly button. You could stack left foot on top of right and lift the outer edge of your right hip higher away from the floor. Keep pressing the mat away with the right hand, stretching through left fingertips. And then exhale, float that left hand down to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Exhale, let the head and neck just dangle down toward the floor, softening into that space. Deep breath in. Exhale, stretching down through the heels. Excellent work. Inhale, soften into your knees, look forwards. Step or hop your feet to your hands. As you arrive there, lift the chest to find flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Now from here, begin to heel toe the feet wider. so that the outer edges of the feet line up with the outer edges of your mat. And we'll turn the toes out slightly and the heels in slightly, moving into Malasana Yogic Squat. So bend the knees, sit the bottom down toward the heels and bring the prayer hands together at the heart center. Now this won't feel good for everyone's knees and hips, so if you're one of those people, don't worry, sit onto your bottom, take the soles of your feet together and your knees wide, Baddha Konasana. If you're in Malasana, your yogic squat, take an inhale and lift up through the crown of your head. Perhaps as you exhale, you press the palms slightly firmer together and you send the knees just slightly wider. But try not to really force that, try to just soften into it. Still have a sense that you're pressing through the heels slightly, maybe just floating the bottom a little bit away from the heels so that you're still activating through your thighs and through your glutes. Well done, another deep inhale and big exhale. Good, even if you're in Baddha Konasana, come in to meet us in a little wide-footed forward fold. So bring your fingertips to the floor, turn your toes in so feet are parallel, and keep your feet this distance apart as you let the upper body hang forwards. Take another inhale, lift the chest, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, knees are soft. Take the right hand to the inner edge of the right foot and then step your left foot back behind you for side angle pose. Wrap the left arm behind your back. You might want to hold your waistband or reach for the top of the right hip. Now again, if this is difficult for your hips, you could come here, bringing the right forearm onto the front thigh. Otherwise, you can keep the fingertips on the floor. Wherever you're at, big inhale into the left shoulder. Roll it back and start to open your chest toward the ceiling a little bit more. Option here to relax the neck if that feels good in your body. Good, deep breaths in, big breaths out. And that sense of gently pressing the mat away with the heels. Back leg nice and strong, upper body very, very open. Well done, triangle pose. Start to straighten through the front leg. So fingertips of the right hand either on the floor or the back of the right hand is toward the right shin. And again, you're maintaining that openness through the front of the body. So if you're here, rounding down toward the ground, then come up more. So you're trying to lengthen through both sideways. Again, option to relax the neck and just let the right ear meet the right shoulder. Excellent. One more big breath in. One more big breath out. Left hand to left hip, half moon. So soften into the front knee. Place the right hand down to the mat directly underneath the shoulder and then see if you can start to float the left heel away from the floor. So eventually the heel lines up with the hip, maybe go slightly higher. And if you're coming slightly deeper, you can stretch the left fingertips toward the ceiling. Good. Deep inhales as you stretch up through the top hand. Big breaths out as you open up through the chest and through the hips. Well done. Look down, spiral top hand down to the floor. Come back into that runner's lunge position. So the left toes come down to the mat behind you. Left hand to the mat, right arm to sky. Reach up, gazing toward the top thumb. Again, option to stay here. If you're coming into a side plank variation, come onto the outer edge of the back foot. Right foot can line up with navel. You can stack right foot on top of left, or if you want an extra challenge, coming into a little tree pose variation, sole of the foot above or below the knee. Big breaths in, lifting the outer left hip away from the floor, and big breaths out. Good, spiral the top hand down to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, sigh out through the mouth, let it go. Excellent, inhale, soften into knees, look forwards, starting to walk the feet toward the hands. Take a moment, soften into the knees, allow the head to hang nice and heavy, the neck to relax. And again, we're going to heel toe the feet until they come mat width apart here. So inhale, lengthen the spine, find flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Left hand to inner edge of left foot, right foot steps back and behind, finding our way into side angle pose. So you might be bringing your left hand down to the floor. If this is too much for the hips, come up. Left forearm to left thigh. Roll the right shoulder toward the ceiling to open up through the front of your body. Now the right hand can either hold onto your waistband or it can reach toward the top of your left hip. So we're keeping the right shoulder nice and soft today. So wrapping the right hand behind the back. Deep breath in, opening up through the center of the chest, and then perhaps as you exhale, relaxing the neck and allowing the left ear to move toward left shoulder. Good. Now check in with your jaw. Are you tensing up into that space? If you are, maybe gliding the bottom set of teeth from left to right. Good, let's take it into triangle from here. So front leg straightens, left fingertips are reaching in the direction of the floor. They don't need to touch. You might have the back of your left hand to your shin, but think about opening up through the body, turning the center of your chest toward the sky, and again you can keep the neck relaxed here, left ear to left shoulder. Deep breath in. Exhale, sliding left shoulder blade away from left ear. Good, nice big breath into the right hip. And then exhale, softening into the belly. Good, one more big inhale. One more deep exhale. Coming into half moon. Right hand to right hip. Soften into the front knee for a moment. Take the left fingertips down to the floor and start to float the right heel away from the mat. So believe it or not, the higher you lift the back heel, the easier this will be. So try to get it to the same height as your hip, or perhaps even slightly higher. Option to maybe stretch right fingertips to sky if you're taking that variation. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Make sure the toes of your right foot are active, pointed or flexed, and you're stretching through that back foot. So the leg is very, very active. Look down, spiral the top hand down to the floor, finding your way to easy twisting lunge. So right toes come down to the mat behind you. Inhale, left arm to sky, open up through the front body. Good, so option to stay as you are, option to come into side plank variation, coming onto the back, outer edge of the back foot, left foot in line with navel, stacking on top, coming into a little tree pose, excuse me, tree pose variation. Maybe stretching left arm to sky. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Good, look down, spiral the top hand to the floor, step back into a high plank this time. So stacking the shoulders over the top of the wrists. Now gently lower both knees down to the floor with control. Begin to soften into your elbows slightly. Send the shoulders forwards of the line of the wrists, and then with control, brushing the elbows to the outer waist, start to lower your belly and your heart space all the way down to the floor with control. Stretching the fronts of your legs out along the mat. Begin to interlace your hands behind your back for both. Big breath into center of the chest. Keep the fronts of your thighs and your feet on the floor as you lift your heart space away. Good. Palms squeezing toward the center line, back of the neck is long. Another big breath in. And big breath out. Well done. Pile the hands one on top of the other underneath your forehead and take the forehead to rest down onto the hands. Excellent work.
From here, hands under shoulders, moving back into child's pose. Take the knees mat width apart, big toes together, resting your forehead down toward the floor. Make sure the bottom is very heavy toward the heels, and the back of your neck is nice and long. Deep breath in. Exhale, start to walk the hands back towards your knees so that you're sitting onto the heels, and then we'll sweep the bottom to one side and the legs all the way out in front. So again, if as you sit flat to the floor here, you're rounding into the low back and you have a little cushion beside you, you can slip it underneath your seat. We're going to just come into a twist. So begin to bend the right knee, sole of the foot to the floor. Left leg is extended. You might even want to cross that right foot over the left leg. And we're going to wrap the left arm around the right knee and place the right fingertips to the mat behind us. So big breath in. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, and then as you exhale, soften into the shoulders and the belly and start to twist. Now if you want to take this deeper, taking the left elbow to the outer edge of the knee. Try to avoid having the fingertips of the right hand too far back. The closer they are to the seat, the easier it will be to press down and lengthen up through the spine. Well done. Inhale, come back to center. And we'll switch sides. So stretch the right leg out, bend the left knee, sole of foot to floor, and then cross the foot over the right leg. Deep inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Wrapping the right arm around the left knee and then placing the left fingertips to the mat behind you. So each time you inhale, think about lengthening up through the crown of your head. Exhale, softening the belly, relaxing the shoulders and starting to turn through the body. If you did on the first side and it felt good, hooking the right elbow over the left knee as you turn. Well done. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Bring the soles of the feet flat to the floor. Scoot yourself toward the top of your mat so that you have plenty of space behind you to roll down. And then when you're ready, nice inhale. Exhale, draw belly button to spine and roll all the way down onto your back. Setting up for Shavasana, final relaxation. So if you do have any layers beside you that you want to pop on, blankets, jumpers, anything like that, then feel free. Take a moment or two to get yourself settled here and finding a nice comfortable position on your mat. So it could be that the legs are extended along the floor, or if you have any sensitivity in your low back, you can take the soles of your feet together and just let your knees flop out wide. So the arms are either alongside the body, or if it helps you to feel a little bit more connected with your breath, perhaps bringing a hand onto your heart space and a hand onto your tummy. And when you're ready, just gently allowing your eyes to close. Let go of any control over your breath and make the breath return to its most natural rhythm. Just observing that gentle rise and fall in the chest and belly. Releasing the bottom jaw away from the top. Allowing your heart rate to slow down. slow down, slow down, slow down, breath. Take a minute. Practice. So perhaps just taking a little bit of time here to deepen the breath, to bring some little movements back into your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, just treat yourself to a full body stretch. Lengthen the arms above the head, stretching the feet away. And on an exhale, hug your knees towards you and just rock yourself to one side and pause there for a moment. So as you move over to your side, finding a little fetal position, just taking a moment here to either reconnect with your intention, maybe that thing that you were grateful for, and taking an opportunity to honour yourself for the practice this morning, to honour yourself for whatever you have achieved. And in your own time, just coming up to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. And as you arrive there at the top, just drawing the hands to prayer position at your heart centre and bowing your chin towards your chest. And we'll seal the energy of our practice today with the sound of Om. You don't have to join in if it's not for you, but if you'd like to, just take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Have a moment, just allow that vibration to sink into the physical body. And then when you're ready, bringing the prayer hands up to the space between your eyebrows. Peace in your thoughts. taking your prayer hands in front of your lips, peace in your words, and in front of your heart, peace in your actions. Namaste, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me for this practice this morning. I really appreciate your support, so thank you very much. If you'd like to join me for the rest of the week, we're going to make the practices incrementally more dynamic. So tomorrow we'll be doing a forest class, which is forest yoga as a branch of Hatha, perhaps slightly more flowing and slightly more dynamic. And then we'll move on to a mindful flow on Wednesday, which again will be slightly more dynamic and flowing. And then on Thursday we're going to do a full-blown rocket class, which will be very dynamic. We'll be playing with lots more perhaps advanced postures, which can be a lot of fun. And then on Friday we'll come back and do a forest practice. So I really look forward to seeing you all there. And I hope you have a wonderful Monday and enjoy the rest of your week if I don't see you. So thank you very much. Have a lovely, lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.